a graded stake on turf in New York that Chad Brown has not won. It's the Fourstardave coming up on Saturday at Saratoga. Joe Kristufek, Scott Shapiro for Twin Spires. And Scott, it's not for lack of trying. He's thrown some live bullets at the race in recent years, including Uni and the likely favorite in this year's edition, Raging Bull.
No doubt about it, Joe. Very surprising when you look back and realize that Chad hasn't won. He certainly has had more success with fillies and mares, but plenty of success with the males as well. And I think he's got a monster shot to get his first Fourstardave race. I'm sure he would like to capture. Being from the Saratoga area, I'm sure it means quite a bit to him. Raging Bull appears to be coming into this race well. He also has Blowout from the far outside. So he's got the inside, the outside, speed, and off the pace.
This is a win in your in race for the Breeders' Cup Mile. It's been won in recent years by Breeders' Cup Mile winners, World Approval, Tourist, and the legendary Wise Dan. Let's take a look at the pace. And you mentioned Blowout, Scott. We're familiar with this horse, not only from his exploits, or her exploits, I should say, all over the country, but in particular, her run on Kentucky Derby Day at Churchill Downs. When we looked at the race, Got Stormy was in there. Zofel was in there. There was no pace in there. Blowout, who lost several close decisions in a row, was able to go gate to wire. She built a big lead and she barely held on.
Yeah, it was definitely a circumstantial race, in my opinion. This horse, probably not as good as even that race suggests. The number came back quick. And as you mentioned, Joe, there was absolutely no speed. Flavien Prat took control like one of the best jockeys in the country would do, and had enough late to hold off that field. I don't think it's going to be quite as easy for Blowout on the front end this time. You've got Whisper Nod, who's a headstrong horse. They've tried to relax this horse before, but her best efforts, or his best efforts, I'm sorry, have come when on the lead or right off of it. And then you have Got Stormy and Field Pass. Both of them have tactical speed. We'll see what Tyler Gaffalione and Ricardo Santana Jr. Do respectively, but I don't think it's going to be a soft pace. But I've been known to be frustrated in New York with these two-turn races when it looks like on paper that it will be a fast pace, and it doesn't end up that way, Joe.
From one mare to another, Blowout to Got Stormy, who's had some success in this race. She won the 2019 edition. She was second in 2020. But Scott, is she the same horse that banked most of her $2 million, maybe a little bit earlier on in her career?
Yeah, I'm not sure the 6-year-old mare is anything near the horse that she used to be, but I have to admit, I thought that might be the case last year. Coming into the Fourstardave, there was a weirdly run race where Chad Brown did have a number of bullets that I thought would be good enough to get the job done, but it was Halliday in front-running fashion with Got Stormy in a stalking position. She loves Saratoga, but she just hasn't been quite the same horse so far in 2021. We'll see if the freshening and getting back to one of her favorite ovals will do the trick.
Interesting race in that 3 of the 8 entered are female. Blowout, Got Stormy, and also Daddy is a Legend. But let's get to your top pick here, Scott. Raging Bull. Horse has done very little wrong in his career. 7-time winner, banking $1.5 million. And when he's good, that turn of foot is scintillating.
Yes, it sure is. 2 for 4 at Saratoga with a second. Last time out in the poker, I thought was best was 3 to 5. You'd like to see when you bet a 3 to 5 shot, not have to get in traffic trouble and be much the best. Alexandra on the outside, the late running mare, got the jump on him. He got caught on the inside. The race 2 back in the Maker's Mark Mile, I thought was one of his best efforts ever. He fits this race perfect. And the key to me is I think he's got enough tactical speed, Joe, to get the jump on the other major player, in my opinion, and your top pick, Set Piece.
Yeah, I got to admit, like, I know Brad Cox and his team really love Set Piece when they got him into the barn. He did run some good races early in his career, but man, he has taken his game to a new level, Scott. That overnight stake at the Churchill on May the 29th, slow pace, won that race under wraps despite having to close into it. You don't see a horse win a 2-turn turf race under wraps the way he did very often. And then he came back in the Wise Dan, a grade 2, very slow pace again up front, some traffic trouble, relentless rally, was too good for him that day. Faces a tougher field in this one, and we'll see what kind of pace heats up in this 1-mile race after coming out of those mile and his 16th races. But man, I really think that this horse's arrow is pointing up. And I think obviously he's going to have to take it to another level in this race, and I think that he will.
Yeah, I definitely give Set Piece a big chance. Not very creative in this race with the top 2 as the horses that I think are by far likeliest to win. You mentioned his ability to come from off the pace with a slow pace in front of him, which is huge because I don't know if it's going to happen here, but I like Some Like It Hot Brown, who had everything his way that day, and set piece overcame that. The one concern is all of his best races have come under the Twin Spires at Churchill Downs. His one experience at Saratoga, albeit last year, he blew the first turn, checked very hard, costing him all chance. We'll see if he can take his game on the road and run down Raging Bull, who I do think, like I said, will get the jump on him.
Raging Bull, set piece, and Casa Creed. I guess you got to give him a little bit of a chance. He's going to be the likely third choice in the race.
Yeah, I've always been very high on this horse, probably a cut below Raging Bull in his career. Really, though, with a monster effort last time out in the Jaipur, and they wanted him to go in the Troy, which is another one-turn turf race, but he drew to the far outside last week for trainer Bill Mott, and Mott opted to scratch him to run him in this spot. We'll see how he does stretching back out the 2 turns, but I do think he's up against a little bit against the top 2 choices.
Scott is going to answer the bell in the 4-star Dave with Raging Bull. I'm going to go right back to set piece, looking for his 3rd consecutive win in the 4-star Dave. Don't forget, opt in to activate the bet back offer, twinspires.com and the Twin Spires app for Saratoga all season long. Best of luck.